Hello, welcome to my channel Education World. Today in this video we'll learn about how to prepare for UPSC CSE Optional 2023. Okay, so before moving ahead as to what your strategy should be for the upcoming UPSC mains exam, especially for the optional paper, we must learn what is the significance of optional paper in mains examination. Okay, because you have total 9 papers in the mains exam, which includes your essay paper, GS paper 1 2 3 4, and optional paper, and also you have English and Hindi, which is just qualifying. Okay, so you have to focus on each and every paper, but optional is the subject which you can give more attention, because it can make or break your final merit list. Okay, so first we'll understand what is the significance of this paper. So the first point is it gives you an edge over other students. Okay, it is because the optional is the only paper which aspirants get to choose in the civil services examination. Okay, unlike other papers which are like GS paper 1 2 3 4, in which you have to study history, geography, or polity, governance, social securities, or disaster management, eco, science and tech, and ethics. Okay, you have to do this, but the optional is the only subject which you have to select as per your expertise or as per your interest. Okay, so in this, as it is your favorite subject and you can spend hours on this subject, you have an edge over other students. Okay, you can increase your marks and maximize your score, which can be considered as a positive sign in the final merit list. Okay, so this is one of the most important or positive point of optional paper in the mains exam. Okay, the next point is it is one of the key to success in UPSC CSE exam, because in the mains exam, optional paper makes a huge difference. You can have a lead of around 20 to 50 marks if you are good at this subject. Okay, if you have chosen your subject wisely and the subject is scoring, and you also have that strong grab or strong hold on your answer writing skills, you can maximize your score in this paper. Okay, so this is one of the important aspect of optional paper. Thirdly, it has a high weightage in final marks. Okay, as we all know that the mains exam consists of 1750, that is the total marks which is considered for the final merit list is 1750 from mains paper. Okay, and the rest is from the interview. Okay, so out of 1750, 500 marks is of optional paper. Okay, and the rest 1000 marks is from GS papers, that is GS paper 1 2 3 4. Okay, you can score around 400 or 450 to 550 out of 1000 in GS papers. Okay, but in optional paper, out of 500 marks, you can score around 350 to 370. Okay, so this makes a huge difference. You should understand that from 1000 marks, if you are scoring 450 or 550, that is around 50% of the total marks in GS papers. Okay, this is also important, no doubt, but you have to maximize your scores in optional paper, which can give you around 350 marks. Okay, so this gives an important weightage to your final marks. Okay, now as we have already chosen your optional subject, but this is for those students who are just beginning their preparation and are confused as to what their optional subject should be. So these are few points which you might consider, which you can consider while choosing your subject. And that is first, the subject scoreability of your favorite paper. Okay, like if you are choosing political science and international relations, or if you are choosing a subject which is like objective based, which is like fact based, so you have to decide which subject is more scoreable for you. Okay, you can see the previous trends as to which subject has been more successful in this examination. However, this only depends on the trend or the type of paper which is made for that particular year. But I would suggest that if you are interested, and if you have resource availability of a particular subject which is not chosen by most of the aspirants, you can go for it. Like if you are interested in mathematics or in physics, you can choose those subjects. But the thing is, you have to maximize, or you have to put more efforts to maximize your scores. Okay, second point is the interest in the subject. This is also like very important aspect, because UPSC is a long journey. You have to spend your like 10 to 12 hours, which is humanly very tiring phase for this examination. But you have to dedicate this much of time. Okay, so for dedicating this much time, you must be interested in learning things, or in devoting your whole heart and soul to this exam. So you must have your interested subject, or I can say that if you are interested in sociology, or if you are interested in anthropology or pubad, like whichever subject you want, you must have like a complete interest, or I can say complete devotion to that subject. Okay, third should be like it should overlap in the GS subjects. Okay, so the subjects like optional subjects like political science or sociology or anthropology, or you can also take public administration or history, geography. These are the subjects which overlap with the GS subjects. Okay, so you can consider this factor also while considering or choosing your optional subject. Okay, fourth is the length of syllabus. You must have a deep attention to the syllabus of the optional paper, whichever you are choosing. Okay, you must have like an eye over it as to what you have to prepare in this paper. Okay, and the next point is sources availability or accessibility. From any part of India, if you are preparing apart from Delhi or other cities of India, you must have this accessibility. Although now with this digital revolution, we all have those access of notes, we can order it from anywhere. But if you are at a remote place where such facility is not available, you must consider this factor also while choosing your optional. Okay, so next point is dynamism. Okay, you must also consider as to the subject which you are choosing is dynamic or static. Okay, for instance, political science and international relations, this is the subject which is dynamic in nature. Okay, you have to keep an eye over the trend, the current affairs, and the new happenings in the world as well as in Indian polity. Okay, so this is a dynamic subject, whereas history or physics or science, these are, or maths, these are static subjects. Okay, you cannot make changes in it every day. But in pol science and international relations, there are every day every new and unique things happening. Okay, so you have to keep an eye over those subjects. So if you are choosing an optional subject which is dynamic, you have to prepare for it thoroughly. Okay, then you can also consider the factor of your background, like your graduation subject or anything which you have studied earlier also. So this can be the factors or the determinants for your optional subject. Okay, now we can come to our main point as to how we have to prepare for optional subject. Okay, so the first point is you have to make a strategy that suits you. Okay, there might be many toppers or many students who have cleared the exam. They might have shared their strategy as to how they prepared for this exam or for the optional paper. You can have a look at those strategies, but you have to make a strategy that suits you. Okay, you maybe you are a person who cannot sit for studying for continuously for 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so you have to make a strategy, like 50 minutes you can study and 10 minutes you can take break, or 50 minutes you can study, 10 to 15 minutes you can take a break. Okay, so these like strategy is a very subjective concept. Okay, you have to make it as per your convenience. Okay, so the first point would be that the strategy that suits you. Okay, this is one of the important point for the optional subject. Secondly is prepare for objective and subjective answers. Okay, so now what is objective and subjective answers? See, objective answer is like which is based on facts. In history there was an incident which happened. Okay, so that is the objective factor, the objective answer, that is fact based. Okay, you cannot change history, you cannot change science. Okay, science is also fact based, maths is also fact based. Okay, so you have to make some answer template, I can say, that the answer format in which you are ready for the objective answers. Okay, as well as subjective answer. For instance, if you are asked like what is the significance of Gandhian ideology in present time or in 21st century. Okay, if there is anything like this, so this will be the subjective answer. You have to prepare the answer which is your view. Okay, so these are the two types of answers which you have to prepare. And while preparing for the optional paper, you should consider that your answer writing should be based on these two factors, and it must be a blend of both. Okay, you must also convey the facts all, as well as the subjective or your ideology about the particular answer. Okay, thirdly, many students are confused like how much time they should devote to this optional paper. Okay, so I would suggest that optional is a like vast paper. Okay, UPSC has stated the complete or vast syllabus for the optional papers. Okay, so if you are ready for the GS papers, I would suggest that you can devote more and more time for optional. So this is June presently, so the exam is in September, in the month of September. So at least 1 to 1.5 month you have to prepare for optional, side by side with your like GS, parallelly with your GS papers. Okay, you should also have that grab on GS papers, because that is also a very important part of the exam. Okay, the fourth point is answer writing. You should be aware that answer writing for the GS papers and for the optional is two different aspects. Okay, you have to prepare for the for both of these papers, so you should practice more and more answers for optional papers. Okay, and especially the answer writing from the previous year question papers would be the most valuable source for you, because in optional papers questions are sometimes repeated. So if you can prepare an answer for the last 10 years PYQs. Okay, so that would be a great guide for you in the final exam. Okay, so PYQs are very important for answer writing, so you must prepare an answer for every previous year question papers. Okay, now some important tips for the optional papers, that is, have an eye on some good journal which is relevant to your subject. Okay, for instance, if your optional paper is political science and international relations, so you must have an eye towards like who are the prominent writers who write about politics or international relations. Okay, so you must quote them in your answers. This would give you an edge over other political science papers. Okay, so just take one or two sources through which you can quote in your answer. Okay, quote recent reports, surveys or indices, because this gives the examiner like they can understand that okay, this student have really understood the subject and they have applied the theory in their like practical or the current scenario. Okay, so you have to quote the recent reports and indices or surveys. Okay, connect the dots of theory with current examples, as I said earlier, like, because examiner can understand with your answers that okay, this student is aware about everything around the like in the society, as well as he or she is capable of connecting the dots of theory with the current examples. Okay, so current examples are very important. Current affairs, therefore current affairs is also like mostly recommended by the UPSC students to have a look on it. Okay, then complete at least 90% of the optional syllabus. Okay, so this is a very controversial thing, because the optional subject and the syllabus for the optional is very vast. Okay, so you have to prepare each and every point of the syllabus which is given by UPSC. Okay, but even if you are like stuck at some point and you feel that you are not able to understand about a particular theory, okay, you should not leave that theory. You can have like you can have a look at it once. Okay, at least you should have an idea as to what that theory is. You cannot leave a single thing from your syllabus. Okay, then of course PYQs are very important for your exams, and as I said earlier, you have to prepare a complete guide of the answers which is like based on PYQs. Okay, so this would give you like a quick revision as to how UPSC asks questions and how you have to prepare for it. Okay, so this is it for the UPSC optional preparation. Okay, catch you guys in the next video with some more important solutions for the optional paper. Okay.